Here's what I'm going to do with you today. I'm going to flip it on you now. Instead of giving you parallel lines, I want you to prove lines are parallel now. Okay? So I'm not going to give you parallel lines. I want you to prove lines are parallel. And before we even start sniffing a proof, I got to make sure if I give you a pair of angles, congruent or supplementary, you can identify where the parallel lines are. All right? So I'm going to do the first couple of these with you, and then I'm going to let you and your group finish them in about 2 or 3 minutes. So I got a bunch of lines flying here, RS, TUV. In number 8, I'm saying that 1 is congruent to 2. 1 and 2 are congruent. Could you give me a pair of lines that would be parallel if you know 1 and 2 are congruent? Okay, maybe you could, maybe you couldn't. That's fine. All right, here's what I'm trying to show you today. Take a look. 1. I always try to highlight mine. This makes it easier. Hey, when I highlight them, do they have a common ray now? What's the common ray? Line U. That means they have some relationship. You just got to figure out alternate interior, corresponding, same side interior, et cetera, et cetera. All right, but they do have a common ray, U, in common. All right, so I got to figure out, all right, I know they have a relationship, but what is it? 1 and 2 are what type of angles? Let's go back. Start hearing from some people. Here we go, 13. What type of relationship do they have? Alternate exterior. All right. Alternate exterior would mean they'd be on the outside. Again, hey, here we go. Here's what I'm going to do again. Highlight them. The common ray is really the transversal. Everyone see the parallel lines. It's going to be R and S, but our 2 is angle 2 outside R and S. No, so it can have nothing to do with exterior. This is what we talked about yesterday. Are both of them outside? Are both of them inside? That's one of each, right? One's outside, one's inside. So going back to 13 again, if one's outside, one's inside, what do I call them? Corresponding. All right, corresponding. So directions tell me determine which lines are parallel. So for number 8, the lines that are parallel are R and S. So R parallel to S. And then state which postulate we just used. They're corresponding, but remember what we did yesterday? Parallel lines imply, well, I didn't have parallel lines. I have what now instead? I have corresponding angles congruent imply what now? Parallel lines. So I'm flipping the reasons I've been using the last couple days. All right, 1 doesn't make you great. Let's go to 9. Okay. You do not have 1 and 2 anymore. Now you have 2 and 9. 2 and 9. Here, I'm going to do it all the time here. Here's 2. Here's 9. Do they have a common ray? Yes. What's the common ray? S. There's your transversal. What are your parallel lines then? U and V. Do you see how easy it is up here when I highlight them? I can definitely tell U and V are the parallel ones because they are actually parallel. And then the common ray is my transversal. Now I just need from somebody, what do we say, U and V? Now I just need from somebody what type of angles they are. Here you go, 5. What type of angles are 2 and 9 in this case? Okay, so alternate exterior angles congruent imply parallel lines. Okay, I'm going to skip down because I'm going to let you do some of these on your own. I'm going to skip the 14 right now. I'm going to skip the 14. What lines are parallel if 3 and 7 are congruent? 3 and 7. All right, here we go. You know what I'm going to do? Here's 3. Here's 7. Do they have a common ray? If they do, let me know what it is. What is it? T? T doesn't form angle. Look at the ones I highlighted. I highlighted R and I highlighted V. T's not part of that. I highlighted S and I highlighted U. T's not part of that. T does not form angle 7 or 3. Everyone, yeah, no? Do they have any ray in common? Guess what? They don't have a relationship, which means what? No lines are parallel here. Okay, if I know 3 is congruent to 7, no lines are parallel. And here's what I'll get though. Well, hold on a second. Can't you say 7 and 5 are equal because they're alternate interior? No. What makes alternate interior angles congruent? Parallel lines. Do I have parallel lines? No, I'm trying to prove that. Okay, so don't go, oh, 7 and 5, 5 and 3, that must mean 3 and 7. No, no, no. We're trying to prove parallel lines. We don't have any, so I can't assume things are congruent or supplementary. All right, we have, let me see, what do I have here? 2, I want to at least do a proof. Okay, 5 minutes. 5 minutes to go 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 in your group. Go right ahead. Highlight them if it helps. Highlight them if you have a pencil. Let's start off here. Number 23, what'd you get for 10? R and S, because you had what type of angles? Alternate interior. Okay, I'm just going to save time by just writing down the parallel lines. You had alternate interior angles imply parallel lines. Nice job. Here we go. Next one up. Let's hear from 2. What do you have for number 11? R and S again, yes, because they are same side interior angles. But now, hey, same side interior angles are supplementary, imply parallel lines. Okay, make sure you have that in them. Not congruent, supplementary. All right, 12 now. Here we go with 12. What are we looking at for 12? Number 19, what do you have? Because what type of angles did they give you? There you go, same side interior again. Any issues so far? Okay, 13. Here we go, 29, 13. What lines are parallel? Because what type of angles do they give you? Alternate interior, perfect. We already did 14 together. And then finally 15. 4. Yep, they are. So which lines then? 4 and 5. R and S, because you got corresponding angles congruent. Got it. Okay, any issues there? How are we finding the parallel lines? We're all good? Because now we're going to prove them now. All right, here we go. Beautiful diagram. You can get it set up and then we'll talk. Why did I just write that there? All right, as people are finishing up writing in their givens, everyone notice the pair of lines I'm trying to prove parallel, ST and UV. Okay, anytime you're trying to prove parallel lines, I'm going to try to make this easy as possible on you. Anytime you're trying to prove a pair of parallel lines, look at those lines right now, and can you find any special type of angles formed by those parallel lines? Can you guys find any corresponding alternate interior, alternate exterior, same side interior? Can you find any angle, special angles that we've talked about already in this unit that are formed by ST and UV? Any of them up here? Name them for me. Number 21, see any special type of angles? If ST and UV were parallel, you should be able to tell me something about any of the angles up there. There's a special type up there if those were parallel to each other. What type of angles are 2 and 3? Are they inside or outside? Inside. And TV would be a transversal. Are they on the same side or opposite sides? So they're alternate interior. Everybody see that? All right. So I'm going to kind of change this proof around. I want, before I get into the parallel lines, I want your goal to be to take angle 2 and take angle 3. What type of angles are they, Vincent? What should I know about them? Congruent or supplementary? So I want you guys to try to get me first 2 congruent to 3. Can you do that first? Because if you can, what do I know about the lines then? They're going to be parallel. So now work with the givens. Can you get me 2 congruent to 3? I hope so. All right, I laid it pretty soft on this one. 2 congruent to 3. 2's congruent to 1. 1's congruent to 3. Any idea now how I can get 2 and 3 equal? Here you go, 14. Substitution right away in step 2. So based off these givens, I know that 2 is congruent to 3. Substitution. And now this turns into the problem you guys did in your groups. If 2 and 3 are equal, what do you know about the lines? Yep, ST now is parallel to UV. Write a perfect reason here for me now. Here you go, 26. What's a good reason here? Nope, forgetting a huge key word there. Alternate interior angles doesn't mean I have parallel lines. Congruent, yes, that means I have parallel lines. Questions there? So what I'm going to have you do over the weekend is, before you prove the lines parallel, figure out what angles you need to prove congruent or supplementary. So let's try that on this one here. Go ahead, get yourself set up, organized. Got a lot going on this one. All right, look at those lines I'm trying to have you prove parallel. KM, here you go, everybody. KM and LN. Anybody see any special types of angles that I would need to prove congruent or supplementary? Anybody see any special types of angles formed by those parallel lines? Do I see alternate interior? Do I see corresponding? Name it. And remember, we're kind of going to stick to 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Let's not try to introduce M and N at all. Okay, hopefully we see them. Do we see them? Do we see them? 6, see any up here? Formed by those parallel lines? Which ones? Okay, 3 and 4. They are interior, but are they alternate of the transversal? Nope, okay. Shoot. Is there anything else up here with these angles? See anything else? 2 and 3. What type would those be? Corresponding, though, I need to shift it down. So I don't think you want to say 2 and 3. 2 and 4, everybody? 2 and 4, yes. No, I didn't. KM and LN, those are the ones I'm trying to prove parallel. Good? Does everyone see 2 and 4? If you can get 2 and 4 congruent, the lines will be parallel. All right, can you help me out? Can you get 2 congruent to 4? Because it's not substitution, is it? It's not substitution. Not yet anyway, but. So there's not much I can do here. But hey, take a look. I have another pair of parallel lines up here. JM and KN. Can you find anything using those lines? Any angles up here congruent using those lines? These parallel lines cut by that transversal. See any types of angles that may be congruent up here? Let's talk to some people here. Here you go, 12. Any type of angles you see up here? Two and three. What type of angles would they be? Here's 2. Here's 3. Aren't they on KM and KN? Right? So I don't want to use. I only want to use angles. Here you go again. Here are my lines, everybody. JM and KN. I only want to use angles that are formed by those lines, not other lines up here. What do you got, Catherine? 1 and 3. What type of angles are they? Okay, so they have to be congruent. 1 congruent to 3. Parallel lines imply corresponding angles congruent. This is what I did yesterday with you. Ooh, all right, let's keep moving now. You got 1 and 3. I'm trying to get what? 2 and 4, right? Trying to get 2 and 4. How many equal quantities do I have up here? How many? 3, right? Do you think one substitution is going to do it? Nope. All right. So everyone pick 2. Somebody just pick 2 out of the 3 right now for me so we can finish this up. 12. Pick 2 out of the 3 right now. Which 2 do you want to use? 1 and 3, N. I got 1, 2, 3. Which 2 do you want to use? That's what I'm asking. 1 and 3, N. Okay, 3 and 4 are equal. 1 and 3 are equal. What tells me what now? 1 and 4 are equal. Substitution. Okay, notice the one I haven't used yet. 3 and 4, 1 and 4. What do you got for me? Sorry, 1 and 2, 1 and 4. 2 and 4. A second what? Substitution. Those are the angles I wanted congruent, so what do I know about my lines now? I needed 2 and 4. What do I know about my lines? They're parallel. So before you even start the proof, find out which pairs of angles you need to prove congruent, and then try to prove them congruent. So this would be corresponding angles congruent imply parallel lines. Before you start the proof this weekend, look at the lines you're trying to prove parallel and see what angles I need to prove congruent first, and jot it down. Just a heads up, it's out of the book and in the packet. All right, you got book and packet. Check your assignment sheets. Answer keys all up on Aspen.